I am at a crossroads right now. 2 years ago, my wife, with whom we lived for 13 years, left me. She left not just for nothing, but for her lover. We have a growing daughter. She recently turned 14. She assured me when she left that in all those years she never cheated on me. And then she just fell in love. It happens, it's not my fault. I'm very good, but that's life and the heart can't help it. Of course, it was very hard to accept it all. They say that the feeling of betrayal of a loved one is pain, as if you stabbed in the back, but that's not really true. Pain is when someone close to you dies, and here it feels like you've been dipped in the mud. Before that, she had been lying to me for half a year, although she said that she had already decided everything for herself, but she did not know how to tell me about it. She was afraid to hurt me. How did it all begin? She was promoted at work and sent on a long trip to another city to head a new branch. Her assistant went with her. They raised the branch, worked a lot together, were together for a long time, and then, just like that, they fell in love. At first she came once a month for a few days. And then she called and said so and so. I can't lie anymore and live on two fronts, and I'm sorry and all that. We decided that my daughter will stay with me for a while. She has school here, plus a section, clubs, friends. She'll come and visit her daughter, send her money, talk to her. For the first year, as a matter of fact, she did. And then she just disappeared. The whole time, I don't know how I lived. The feeling of being betrayed, I couldn't get any peace. If it wasn't for my daughter, I would have hit rock bottom. I never got together with any woman during that time. And then a year later, no call from her, no money, no news. My daughter and I almost lost our minds. And then just 3 months ago, this treasure returns. I was very sick at the time on a nervous breakdown, and went to the hospital. That day they came to visit me, just the two of them and my daughter. I was amazed. I didn't expect to see her. She said she would tell me everything as soon as she was discharged. The two of them also picked me up from the hospital. My daughter asked me, or rather insisted, that my mother, my wife, we are still not officially divorced. She had no time to deal with it, and I hoped that she would come to her senses, to live with us for a while, because during that time she missed her mother terribly, and she missed her a lot. For the daughter's sake I let her in, but again with the condition that she would sleep in a separate room with her daughter until she found a new place to live. So what had happened? Why did she come back? What happened was this. The parent firm where she worked had closed down, and they had to sell off all their assets. My wife and her assistant and lover-in-law bought that branch and opened an independent company on the basis of that firm. It seemed like things were going well. But what finally had to happen happened. She was so madly in love with this man that not only did she leave her family for him, her husband, but she trusted him completely, even the financial documents and other matters. That was her second big mistake. The first, that she left me and got involved with him at all. And one day he zeroed out all the accounts and ran away with the money. Now he's wanted. She had to work it out for a long time and sell everything to pay off her debts. Left her broke. Doesn't even have a place of her own. She's got some money left over though, and she wants to invest it. To be honest, I didn't really feel sorry for her. That night, I tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. I heard my wife and daughter arguing about something. Her daughter was saying, "Go on, go on." And just as I was beginning to doze off, she came to me without her clothes on and dove into bed with me. The male instinct took over, and we had sex. We didn't fall asleep until morning. In the morning she came back to me with kisses and tears, wailing about how stupid she was and how she wanted it all back. But I told her that that night didn't mean anything. That I couldn't just forget everything now, as if nothing had happened. I need time to sort myself out. My boss at work gave me the address of a clairvoyant, and on his advice I went to her. This is what I heard from her. Now I have two choices. The first, if I could find strength to forgive my wife with all my heart, then I would be happy with her my whole life. She will love me more than ever. We will have a second child, most likely a boy. Her plans will also come true and the family will have wealth, but she'll need my help and support. She is ashamed of what she has done and she suffers because of it. If I do not reproach her once, do not remind her of what she has done, and surround her with care, tenderness, and attention, I will be repaid with triple gratitude. She won't even think of another man. She had learned her lesson for the rest of her life. Her daughter will do well too. Second way, if I chase my wife away and don't forgive her, then my daughter will choose her mother and leave with her. And I won't have a relationship with any woman, I'll be alone. I will start drinking heavily, my health will deteriorate completely, and I will live only 5 years alone, forgotten by everyone, and I will die that way, and my daughter's life would be ruined. Losing her father's control, she'll ruin her whole fate, and she'll never get out of the swamp. She'll never get out of the swamp she's in. So my fate now and the fate of my loved ones is in my hands. It is not easy for any man to make such a decision, and it will be difficult to forget the betrayal of a woman and sincerely forgive, to the end forgive it all. But if I choose the first way, it would be better for us to go to church and get married. Then it will be easier to break my pride. Right now I am in a stupor. When I returned from the clairvoyant, I told my wife that she can live here as long as she needs. This is her home too. We sleep in the same bed, eat with pleasure what she cooks and never touched before. We socialize and even joke together, the three of us. But I can't finally let her back into my heart. I really want to, but I can't. There's some kind of invisible barrier, and I don't know what it is at all. Sometimes I want to hold her tightly, caress her without end, tell her that I love her, how I suffered without her, after she left, how I missed her all the time, how hard and disgusting it was to imagine her with another. But some unknown force holds me back. I do not know what it is, fear or pride. My daughter is blissfully happy. She tells everybody that mommy came to her senses and came back. She came back because she realized that she only loved daddy and she missed him, and daddy, so kind and noble, forgave her because he loves her, because she has the best father. I don't want to disappoint the girl, but I also remember the psychic saying that keeping up the appearance of a good relationship for my daughter's sake doesn't make sense either. In the wife's case, where she wants to invest the rest of her savings, I will help her, of course. We already discuss all the plans together. She goes to various instances. I told her she can count on me. But for the rest, will I be able to trust her again as before and not be afraid that once she's back on her feet she'll pack up and leave me again? Because if I open up to her, I don't think I could survive a second betrayal. I guess it takes time. How much time? I don't know.